Lisa, I'm going to read your energetic signature. So when I went into your energy field, I saw a bridge and it was over this type of pond. And as I was walking over the bridge, there was this little creature that was standing next to it that I've never seen one before. And it's not from Earth. This is like a different dimensional space. And I walked over to him and I introduced myself and I asked him what he was doing there. And he said, I'm the protector or the guardian of this marsh. And I said, oh, it's been a little while since I've been to a marsh. So I told him why I was there to do the energetic signature reading for you. And he said that he's actually a different timeline version of you. I asked him if I could shrink down to his size so I could hear him better. And so I got really small and I stood next to him and he actually looks like this, kind of. Okay, this is like a human depiction, but he looks like Toad from the cartoon Frog in Toad, but he kept on shape shifting into different creatures. And I say creatures because these are not animals from planet Earth. Okay, these are things that I had never seen before. As I was talking to him, my ears started ringing really loudly, and he said, you need to work on your clairaudient abilities, and you may already have that gift, okay? But it's something that you can learn to hone and fine tune. And so working on developing that one specifically is going to help you to be able to hear him because he has some guidance for you. So he asked me to follow him. He said, I want to show you my village. And I said, okay. So we're walking together and there's all these different type of beings. And he said, oh, you're not scared? And I was like, no, we're all creatures from Earth, like even human beings. There's no reason to be scared. And he said, oh, most humans are scared. And I said, oh, what do you mean? And he said that they have been trying to show themselves to us over the years, but because our central nervous systems are perpetually in a state of fight or flight, and not obviously, but a lot of people's, okay, especially people who are not already on the spiritual awakening journey, like things out in the world already make them nervous that are not outer worldly because of societal programming or religious programming, or maybe there were children who could see spirits when they were younger and did not have any guidance, so they kind of shut all their gifts off. And so he said that because they look so different than even like what we have in this timeline history of like unicorns or fairies or dragons, like those are things that are already inundated into the collective experience, but these creatures are so different that he said that every time that they were trying to show themselves to people, they would get really spooked. He said what your role is here and what you can help with the collective consciousness shift and with the veil getting a lot thinner and people being able to perceive a lot more, which is only going to continue to ramp up as we go along here. He said that you can actually be a bridge for them to start showing themselves to people, but you have to work on your perceptual awareness abilities at the same time because you're probably running some of that programming, and per your energy field I can tell that you've been working through that to be able to see, but it takes time, you know, to delayer those distortion lenses within us. And so he said a couple different things that you can do to help you start perceiving them first. There's this thing called automatic writing where you don't really think about what is coming through. You're just letting words flow out of you and writing them down. You can also do that with automatic drawing, and that's actually a type of channeling. And he said that if you start practicing drawing creatures, okay, and just letting it come out, you can actually channel these different beings, and not necessarily taking on their energy, but more so channeling what they look like and pulling it down from that dimensional space into this 3D paradigm, and then start to get accustomed to that. So when they do start presenting themselves to you, it's a very natural integration. You can also go on Pinterest. I love doing this. Okay, you can go and type in magical forest creatures or fae creatures, woodland beings, woodland spirits, and you're going to find a whole bunch of caricatures and different cartoon depictions, which will be really fun and whimsical for your inner children and your teens, and be that bridgeway point for you to them, or to these beings from the different dimensions is what I mean. But good for you and your inner children and teens to open up your imaginative scape. I did ask him if they were connected to the fae, and he said no. He said that they are akin to them, but they are a completely different type of beings. He did say, though, that continuing to research about the fae will help open up your perceptual awareness, because the Fae also have a lot of different creatures, not just fairies with the wings. Okay, there's many different types of Fae. And so he said that can also be a portal of understanding in researching about different fairy creatures. The way that he said that you might be able to apply this in this incarnation is you could write a children's book about the different creatures, or as we get deeper into the ascension journey and more people are waking up and able to see these things, that you might end up creating a guidebook teaching people about the different types, and that they are actually very real and that you are able to perceive them if you connect in with that frequency or that dimensional space. And in you opening yourself up to them, you are going to be able to help other people perceive them and feel safe to do so. Okay, and excited to do so. So to recap, he was saying work on your clairaudient abilities and maybe doing the automatic drawing or going on Pinterest and looking at pictures and researching about Fae creatures. And he will start to give you those downloads, and you won't necessarily, and maybe you will, I don't know where you're at with your psychic abilities. I would think that you're probably going to be able to see them within your inner eye, okay, your third eye, your imagination scape, before you're able to see them outside of yourself, because we're working through those distortion lenses and that programming, and so it's safer to do that in here before out here, if that makes sense. Especially if your inner children or teens, have some fears around like seeing things, and so he just wants you to know they're not going to like spook you or anything. It's going to be a gradual understanding and perceptual awareness shifts. And so I want to thank you so much for letting me read you, and I hope you have a super magical day.